Everybody knows the Rolex Submariner. It's one of the very few watches that truly deserves to be called an icon. Now there's one watch in the Rolex catalog which is megalomaniacal enough to try to outdo it, to try to one-up the Submariner. Thanks to a very generous friend, we'll have a chance to take a look at it today. We are talking about the Rolex Yachtmaster, a model introduced in 1992 in solid 18 karat gold. Being the first new model after 25 years, yes, 25 years, a quarter of a century, it was kind of a big deal for the company. In Rolex typical fashion, it didn't reinvent stuff, but merged and reassembled already tried and tested design features. As its aristocratic name indicates, it was clearly geared towards more wealthy individuals, the ones in no need to get wet and discover that pirate's bounty on the bottom of the sea. Consequently, it feels like a more luxurious version of the Submariner, certainly a more shiny version with its mirror-polished centerlinks and its blue dial exploding in the sun. Also note the shock of red on the second hand, which jumps off the dial. The most luxurious aspect, and this was introduced in 1999, is its platinum bezel. It really is a solid piece of platinum with the numbers not filled in Submariner style, but relieved, each a little sculpture standing on top of the bezel. Seen from up close, it has an amazing 3D quality to it. It wouldn't have been necessary, but for a luxury product of this class and frankly price, it is more than appreciated. I have to admit though that coming from a Tudor Pelagos, I'm not a big fan of the bidirectional bezel action. It is a little too smooth for me, lacking the clear detent and those audible clicks I'm so used to from my dive watch. It clicks over with the least bit of resistance and is thus perhaps a little less satisfying to operate. Also, one might ask the question, why have a bidirectional bezel when there is no GMT hand and no corresponding time indications to take advantage of it? Seems a bit haphazard, maybe. All in all, I'm still enamored by the bezel though, just because of those darn nice looking sculpture-like numerals on top of it. Measuring only 11.5mm in thickness, the watch is much flatter than the Submariner and very thin for a dive watch in general. Officially it boasts 100 meters of water resistance, but since it shares its triplock crown with that of the Submariner, it's more likely to be 300 meters in actuality. Also notice the slim organic lug design, which matches the vision for that watch perfectly. Needless to say, you don't need a particularly robust or beefy watch while chilling out on your super yacht. And I guess if you damage it by knocking it against your saloon door, you just buy a new one. Here it is compared to another blue dial freehands and date steel watch, my Grand Seiko Skybridge. Seen from a little bit of a distance, I think it is fair to say that the design of the Yachtmaster is more striking, with the bezel in particular grabbing my attention. Zooming in further, I would still prefer the more intricate dial pattern of my Grand Seiko, but it's hard to argue with what Rolex has to offer here. What's no doubt superior to my GS is the amazing clasp and bracelet, though I'm no fan of those shiny centerlinks, which will be scratched to oblivion just by the evening breeze touching them. But they feel sturdy, and the double folding clasp is something you just have to experience yourself. It snaps shut with as reassuring a sound and feel as closing a bank vault would provide. Considering that you'll be using it at least twice every day, it really makes a difference and adds a ton to the perceived quality of the product. Now, should you get a Yachtmaster over a Sub? Personally, just looking at them in a vacuum, I would still go with the Submariner. I hate to admit it, but there is a reason for its popularity. While the Yachtmaster is by no means a slouch in this department, the design of the Sub seems even more coherent, more focused, and more rigorously purpose-built to me. But considering that you simply cannot get it, the Yachtmaster, which you can get and which is available in not one, not two, but 3 different sizes, is a more than decent alternative. In the end, it perhaps doesn't outshine the Submariner, but it sails smoothly and ever so sexy alongside it.